You know the basics of safety. You're taught most of them as a young child. But do you know exactly what not to do in a lightning storm? What about if you fell through a frozen lake? If the answer's no, then listen in on these helpful tips that make you better safe than sorry. Number 19. Falling elevator. Just the thought might make you uncomfortable, since not only are elevators already pretty claustrophobic settings, there's really nowhere else to go. If you ever find yourself inside a falling elevator, first things first, make sure you lie on your back. Your instinct may be to stand or bend your knees and brace yourself against the wall, but you put yourself in danger when doing so. When on the ground, put an arm directly under your head to soften the blow. With your other arm, drape it over your face to protect. Doing this will help protect you from falling debris. Also, don't jump on impact. Number 18. Breathing tactics. There's lots of things you need to be prepared to do when you're out in the wilderness. You need to always be aware of the kind of your environment you're in, how far civilization is, and what kind of wild animals you'll encounter if you're stuck in a scenario when it's just you and nature. However, something you might not have thought of is breathing. If you find yourself in a wilderness survival situation, remember to breathe through your nose. Doing so releases less moisture from your body than breathing through your mouth. Number 17. On the road. Anyone who goes on the road on a daily basis, whether you're a pedestrian or driver, you know there's about a million rules and things to look out for. If you're not an automobile kind of person and you often use a motorcycle, bike, or you like running on the roads where there's going to be lots of vehicles, remember to not stop in a driver's blind spot. You're much smaller than a car, and a blind spot is a blind spot, so always try to stay visible to drivers. Number 16. Caught in a rip current. Swimming on the beach is always depicted as a sunny, carefree experience. In movies and TV shows, even the lifeguards always look like they're just there to look good and have fun. But something you should be mindful of are rip currents. Rip currents form when the tidal water retreats when it's time for low tide. You'll be able to see it by looking out for a line of waves that gets broken with foam around it. Swimmers caught in a rip current should not struggle against it or try swimming towards the shore, as it will be stronger than you. Instead, swim parallel to the shore until you are out of the rip current. Number 15. Elevate their head. If you're around when it's clear someone's gotten injured and probably has a concussion, there are some measures to take to decrease the risk of something more serious happening. First off, make sure that when they're lying down, their head is at least elevated. This elevation only needs to be at an angle of about 30 degrees, so you can just lift their head slightly up. Do not do this, however, if you think their back or spine might be injured. In that case, do not move them at all. Number 14. Sleepy driving. This should come as common sense, but please do not operate machinery such as a car if you're sleepy. It may be tempting to just rush home after work or rush to work after staying up late, but no matter what, make sure you are well rested before you drive. Driving is an activity that takes all your focus if you want to be as safe as possible. Make sure you get your Z's in before you get behind the wheel. Number 13. Driving in a flood. When the streets flood, the last thing you should be doing is getting in your car. But if you happen to be in your vehicle when something like a flash flood hits, then here's what to do. If it's a situation where there's no driving out of it, remain calm and make sure you avoid anything you might get caught on. Remove your seatbelt immediately. Open the window, whether the car has been submerged underwater or not. Trying to open the door will prove aimless, since all the water will prevent the door from opening easily, if at all. Climb out of the window as fast as you can before the water drags the car further down. If you can't open the window, use a seatbelt buckle or anything else handy to break it, and try hitting the corners of your window first. Number 12. Hands out of your pockets. This might seem a trivial thing, but you really shouldn't be walking up or down the stairs with your hands in your pockets. Most of the time, putting your hands in your pockets is something you didn't even realize you were doing. But when going down some significant steps, you should make sure your hands are out at all times. This is because, should you trip, your hands will be able to help you keep your balance, grab onto the railing, or break your fall. Number 11. Tell someone. When going out, make sure someone knows where you're going. That doesn't mean that people need to always keep tabs on you or you can't have some privacy. When going out, at least let someone know who isn't going with you know where you're going. In case of something drastic, someone will know where to find you. And if you don't end up at your destination, there will be a better chance of someone realizing something is wrong. This is especially important if you're going on a date with someone you just met, or if you're going out alone. Number 10. Drowning. It seems simple enough. If someone's drowning and you know how to swim, then you go in and grab them. But there is a safer way to handle a situation like that, so that you both come out of it as safe as possible. When someone is drowning in a huge body of water, like a lake, a sea, or the ocean, after you've swum towards them and grabbed hold of them, be sure to swim backwards towards the shore. If they're in a pool, throw a flotation device towards them first. Of course, if there's nothing to throw or your aim sucks, then you have to jump in the water, grab them by the armpit, and swim to the surface. Number 9. No CPR. When in doubt, CPR may be a good place to start if someone's passed out. Though you need to take classes and learn how to do CPR properly, you'll at least know there's one person in the room or on the train who knows how to do CPR. Number 8. Stab wounds. Being around someone who has been stabbed, your first instinct might be to pull the object out. Do not do this, ever, at all. Removing objects from a stab wound should never be done immediately unless it's blocking an airway. Leave all of that to the doctors that will be treating the person later. By taking out the knife or the offending object, you increase the rate of blood loss they experience, and in a situation like that, your main objective is stopping as much blood loss as possible. Number 7. Lightning storm safety. When it's raining out and there's a lightning storm and you just happen to be outside, you're better off braving the storm with a raincoat on. Carrying an umbrella increases your chances of attracting lightning. Likewise, don't hide under a tree during a lightning storm, even if it's raining. It may seem like a good idea for shelter, but like the umbrella, only attracts lightning. And if you are biking outside and the storm comes, ditch the bike. That can lure some electricity towards you too. What you probably didn't know, and this might not even apply to a lot of people anymore, but it's said that you shouldn't use a landline during one of these storms. If lightning strikes the building, it will look for the fastest route to travel on, and that might be the phone line. Number 6. Emergency call. When you need help and are panicked, it's usually reassuring to know you can call for help via an emergency number. Almost all cell phones can call 911 even without service or a SIM card. Be sure yours has this feature. Number 5. Money shoes. Taking a run out on your own can feel freeing and relaxing. In that trance of endorphins, however, do not forget to always have your wits about you. Keep money in your shoe soles if you go out running alone. You never know if you'll get stuck somewhere either by a sudden storm or an injured leg and need a cab. You also might need some food or water, so it's best to keep some money on hand just in case. Plus, keeping it in your shoes deters any muggers since they won't see a wallet on you. Number 4. Road rage. It's tempting, but try not to lose your mind or flip someone off in a fit of road rage. First of all, you have no idea what that other person could be carrying or the state of their mental health. Take a breath and let it go. Number 3. Anti-outdoors. One of the most important things to remember when doing any outdoor activity is to remember to bring all the essentials. This means things like water, food, first aid, and sunblock. If you're out hiking or camping, remember to always carry some antihistamines with you, whether you know you're allergic to anything or not, because you never know what kind of insect might sting you or bed of plants you might fall into. Number 2. Icebreaker. When falling into ice, first things first. Don't panic. You have 10 minutes before you freeze and your muscles give out. Do not remove your clothes because the air in the clothes will help you float. Climb out of the water the exact way you fell in. Once you get back onto the surface, stretch your torso and pull your weight onto your elbows and the palms of your hands. You need to lay down spread eagle over the ice so as to evenly distribute your weight. Once you do this, crawl or roll towards the shore and get to warmth as fast as you can. Number 1. Exit strategy. When in a crowded place, it's always best to take note of where all the exits are, at the very least. It's good to have a plan in any kind of scenario how to get to that exit as safely and as quickly as possible. There's a reason there's that little message in the movie theater before the movie to know where the exits are, and a reason you should go through emergency drills during school and work.